This is the Module 6 discussion, T and B cell deficiencies, by myself, Mariela Roper. This presentation will discuss the role of B and T cells, along with descriptions of the primary defects present in both cells. T and B lymphocytes, otherwise known as T and B cells, are involved in acquired or antigen-specific immune response. This system is otherwise known as the adaptive immune system, which is formed and fine-tuned throughout a person's lifetime. Adaptive immunity is an immunity that occurs after exposure to an antigen, either from a pathogen or a vaccination. This part of the immune system is activated when the innate immune response is insufficient to control an infection. B cells are at the center of the adaptive humoral immune response system. They are primarily responsible for creating antibodies, which are simply a type of protein. These antibodies bind to pathogens or to foreign substances, such as toxins, to neutralize them. Antibodies can bind to a virus, which prevents it from entering a normal cell and causing infection. However, a main defect in B cell production is that because they randomly generate antibody receptors, some B cells may be generated that could bind to healthy self cells. But this is where the checks and balances of the immune system come into play. It is through the binding of helper T cells and to B cells that the B cell is activated. This helps to prevent the B cell from producing antibodies that would bind to self cells. Due to the fact that B cells' primary function is to secrete antibodies, they are very effective at immune responses in the humoral system, or that is, within the body fluids. Because of this, antibodies must come in contact with a free-floating antigen. This occurs more frequently in bacterial infections since bacteria do not require host cells to reproduce. But this also means that individuals with B cell deficiencies are more prone to bacterial infections. One example of this is Bruton's disease. It is an inherited immunodeficiency disorder. It is characterized by the absence of mature B cells, which in turn leads to severe antibody deficiency and recurrent infections. Outside of B cells, T cells are a crucial element to adaptive immunity. Unlike B cells, T cells are not responsible for the secretion of antibodies. Instead, T cells serve two main functions. The first is to produce cytokines, which are small signaling proteins, and the other is to destroy infected and unhealthy self cells. The first function, secreting cytokines, is an important element to all immune responses. The small protein signal molecules tell the rest of the immune system that there's a problem going on, and even serve to turn naive B cells into mature B cells. Other T cells, cytotoxic T cells, are responsible for seeking out unhealthy cells that are most likely infected with a pathogen and destroying them before the viral infection can spread. This is why people with T cell deficiencies are more prone to viral infections, because they are lacking the patrolling system that seeks out and gets rid of unhealthy cells. DeGeorge syndrome is an example of this, as it is a primary immunodeficiency that is usually characterized by T cell deficiencies. It is a congenital disorder in which the thymus gland is absent or undeveloped at birth, typically due to a defect in chromosome 22. People with this immunodeficiency suffer from increased susceptibility to viral, fungal, and protozoal infections. Overall, the adaptive immune response is a powerful yet fragile system in which a perfect balance of systems is required for it to function properly. Without the adaptive immune system, we would fall victim to bacterial and viral infections all too often. But yet, too much power from B and T cells can yield catastrophic effects, as seen in the many autoimmune disorders.